Well, I'm here today, this morning, in central London with hundreds of other Liberal Democrats, Susan, with Simon, with Catherine, with different generations, from Liberal Democrats from every single part of the country, to shout loud about our ambition to see a meaningful deal take place in Copenhagen. The clock is ticking, the climate change deniers have come out of the woodwork saying that somehow we don't need to take a decision. We do, we need to act, we need to maintain pressure on leaders to deliver that big deal that is needed, not only for the planet as it is today, but crucially for future generations too.
We're here today to express the words of our home communities. Our communities want to make sure that there's a future for our children. This is our last chance to really make sure that we tackle climate change. We're joining the wave, we're here for the rally, we're utterly committed. It's a long way and a long march that our party has taken to come to this point. We've fought this battle now over at least 2 generations, but I think we're now at the point where if we're loud enough, we can make the international leaders actually live up to their commitments, and we can make the difference in climate change.
We're here in London this morning because we have to not just win the argument amongst ourselves. Liberal Democrats have been committed for years, but we have to win the argument amongst the public, some of whom are still sceptical, and above all to win the argument for urgency with the politicians in government. Government have at last understood there's an issue, but I don't think they still understand the urgency of acting now to make sure there are future generations. There are countries for people in the developing world, not just water where there used to be land. That there is a future for people in countries much poorer than us, not no chance because they've had to move because of a climate crisis that makes them refugees. And in this country to make sure that people understand that it's in everybody's interest to act now. It can give us the sort of future that gives security, it can give us the sort of future that gives peace, and it can give the sort of future that gives a much greater equality. Those are liberal principles, and we're here to make sure the message is heard really loudly and really, really clearly.